Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. That's right. It's time for yet another episode of Sarcastic Distractions. And today, as always, you're joined by the Gentlemen's Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey, my heterosexual life mate, David, and the ever-loving AJ.
Gabagoo.
Gabagoo.
That's my made-up language, my made-up cult language.
I don't know if it's your made-up.
No,
I've heard this before, I believe.
No.
Yeah, gabba gabba goo.
But what does it mean?
It means gabba gabba goo. I don't need to explain it to people that are members of my society.
Well, I'm not a member. I'm a member of my society. Maybe it means something different.
So if you haven't figured it out today, the topic of conversation is that of cults and cult life and what all that means. And AJ's going to run us through a bunch of different cults and ideas, and we're going to discuss just the Harry Carries of this weird ass world. And AJ, please take it away.
Yeah, I just give me a second. I gotta look at the audio for a minute, so I'm just gonna this part out.
Okay.
Yeah. Really like.
Oh,
I really like that.
good,
intro.
bad, ugly.
No, we're good.
We're good.
You're just small.
Oh.
Dave's small.
Oh.
All right, and we're back. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some, I guess, famous. What's the difference? Would infamous be a bad thing?
Yeah, I think infamous does.
So I
bad,
guess we will talk about some infamous cults.
Yes, that is like
today.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I have on my little listy poo here. my little listy poo.
Your little list.
I guess the second one. You know what? We'll go chronologically here.
Sure.
Ooh.
Wow.
So
Cults through the times.
Started in 1974. We have one called Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate.
The Heaven's Gate cult. They were like a UFO religion. I believe the term was like ufology or something like that, where they believed that, well, at one point they believed that they could live all the time forever, right? That if they joined this cult, it was everlasting sort of thing, and then their leader died of cancer.
Well, yeah, and I thought it was like a soul thing or something, or did it transition to that?
It transitioned to that, after the leader died of cancer, and they were like, well, there's a fucking loophole, or a plot hole, sorry.
Yeah.
Plot hole.
There's a plot hole.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, they kind of switched it up to be like, well, no. See, what happens is your soul leaves your body, and it goes up to a spaceship.
Cool.
All right.
So, they also believe that, was it Halley's Comet or Hale-Bopp? God, I can't remember. One of those two famous comets.
Right.
They believe that the closer the position to the Earth that was as it was passing would be the optimum time to ascend.
Or to ascend.
So that's why there was an unfortunate mass suicide within the whole thing.
Okay.
And yeah.
And how did they perform said mass suicide?
That one was, oh God, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Probably Kool-Aid.
No, that was the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the other infamous,
the larger one that's in our time.
But I believe it was I think it was poisoning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's check.
Let's go.
The only reason why I ask is because, like, how is that plotted out? You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you're the one leading the cult and you're trying to run things, to a specific end, like, how do you decide the best way to take out all your followers and still have them be okay with it?
Well, again, like anything in life, there are the versions where it's people simply taking advantage of others. And again, I think one of those are probably going to come up, unfortunately.
Probably, yeah.
And then there are probably, I truly don't know for sure, that even the leader may actually believe it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe by their own whatever.
Yeah, like, they're there, they're... it could be one of those that, they're pushing for it because they know that something's at the edge of failing. That's possible too, but yeah.
Which fine.
I found, it was not the Kool-Aid.
Okay.
It was a mixture of phenobarbital, which is a very powerful, like almost anti-seizure sort of medication.
Okay.
My brother suffers from seizures, and I know he was on something quite the same.
Okay.
So I think it like slows your shit down.
Gotcha.
But if you take too much, obviously, it's going to
really
slow your shit down.
Yeah.
So they mixed that with applesauce and pudding. Washed it down with vodka.
Oh, man.
And then put plastic bags over there.
Oh, you vey.
Yeah. So it was a really, really rough.
Like how?
Kind of just. It's like that's
like,
pretty fucked up.
Could you imagine that? Like having that conversation with your cult leader. We're like, okay, so here's the plan. Here's the plan. We're gonna get you this cocktail of not good things. But don't worry, there's some vodka in it for you. Okay,
you get a shot afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
You get a shot.
And then we're gonna have you put the plastic bag in your head, and then you're gonna pass into to UFO land. Now, that would be a very strange.
At what point did a head not become scratched? And I was like, deuces, I'm out. Like, if this, like, I don't. Even if it wasn't a discussion, right? Because it could. A lot of these cult leaders will hide.
Well, yeah,
hide the particulars from people.
Yeah,
and so like, even if it was 2 minutes before it was going to happen, you don't think somebody would have been like,
Wait
no?
a second.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, my mom just called. I'm gonna go home now.
Yeah,
I can't do this. I'm not allowed to. Gotta go home for dinner.
I mean, I guess some of them have like work under the guise of like, well, not guys, but use blackmail.
Yeah,
to keep people in. But even still, there
keep
must
somebody in. Yeah,
there must be something not mentally correct with the people who just blindly follow or just comply
to that level.
Comply with something to that degree.
Yeah, you said this was in 76, right?
It started in 74.
74.
And that happened in like 97.
Wow.
Like
20. Whoa.
It was recent. It was recent.
I thought
23-year cult, and then.
Yeah.
No, wait, longer than that.
I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, that's
20-ish.
Right. That's 20-ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's crazy to think, because like I could see how. Well, you know what? When you think of that length of time, I feel like the mass suicide is more justified. And my reason for saying that is
interesting,
because I feel when it started, I'm sure it's like any person if you're young, and I don't know what their age or the followers were or anything like that, but I'm sure a lot of vulnerable people that weren't happy with what was going on with whatever, and then so they find this church where they've got this person who they think is someone worth following, and they do. Then you can kind of build on that. When you've got enough people that are a part of your organization, you can start to build on more people coming into your church, right? From all walks of life. And then the fact that you go like that long, I could see how many people, or how the servants, if you will, I don't know what you call them, the followers.
Yeah, I would say I don't think they're
the servants. Yeah, the followers would be so ingrained to the play. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been doing this for 20 X amount of years. Yeah, that's how it's time to.
Well, but again, part of the 20 years, I have to admit, I thought it was sooner, but c'est la vie. It's probably more of just if they really did become, I'll call it followers of the comet. Yeah. If it's there and they see that as their opportunity and they truly believe it, because this was the slightly smaller one. I shouldn't say small.
Yeah, there were 39 people.
Oh, even less.
39.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this strikes me as the type of group of people that they shouldn't have done it, of course, my perspective. But they probably did it together in a happy-ish way.
Oh, yeah, kind of like that hippie-ish kind of.
I don't know if I should go that far.
Cults are usually some form of commune, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you take it to the outside. I mean, there are some on-the-line sort of cult things where it's more of a quote-unquote church-like thing where you can have your own life and live in your own house and dress the way you want to dress. And, but yeah, so this was, I think, more of like a commune kind of thing. So where, like you're saying, hippy dippies, and then it wasn't necessarily something that was happening out of fear.
Yeah,
I guess.
Right.
Especially if it was over that long of a time. Not saying it was the right thing to do, but of course, but
they were called the Heaven's Gate Away Team.
Away team.
The away team.
I kind of like that.
I figured you'd get a kick out of
That's
that.
pretty awesome. I'll be the away team. Yeah.
So they believed that UFOs would come and take them away, and it was 1997. 39 of them did what they did, and it was the Hale-Bopp comet.
Oh, nice.
So,
well, that makes me wonder.
But
what if the UFOs got them?
It just.
You never know.
Who's to say they were wrong, right? Right? Who's right? And who's
I'm afraid
wrong
I'm going to say they're wrong, but that is my
I would say they're
opinion.
wrong if you enjoy life. If you don't enjoy life, then maybe that was the right
Yeah,
decision.
and this is easy for me to say, but if you're in that spot, then it's time for you to slowly, rightfully start to work through that.
Yeah, I agree.
Try to not roll it, makes sound too easy, but yeah.
For sure.
But in that case, is it a question of enjoying or not enjoying life because they believe that there was something beyond, right?
Yeah.
Well, then that shares a lot with many different religions and faith, right? Because it's all about the afterlife. Yeah. So that's very interesting.
Believing you have an afterlife is totally cool, but enjoy what you're doing and living right now.
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? A lot of other religions are like, no, you live until you naturally kick the bucket, right? That's how this shit works.
Yeah.
Or if you flip some asshole off with the bird and he's bigger than you, decides.
That's just.
Well, if you do that, they'll just demonstrate for you through a physical interaction that you shouldn't do that,
and then you're dead.
No, not dead. Not in this day and age. I knew this guy that did that thing to a cop, and the cop just came over and told us how idiotic it was to do that.
Well, that's a nice cop.
Yeah, it was a nice cop.
He's really okay.
Moving on. I apologize.
So that's that one.
Well, that's an interesting cult, and that was all under the guise of UFOs. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's kind of fitting that now we're starting to get all these UFO.
The releasey stuff. Yeah. I have not looked at it.
There's that too.
Maybe they were right all along.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you they're big fans of X-Files too.
Right? Probably.
Original
97, right?
Yeah.
There'd be a rather time.
We're not talking the T-1000 days. No.
No. Exactly. And then the remakey, I tried. I couldn't.
I didn't even. I was never a fan in the first place.
Oh man, that was one of my favorite shows.
I'll admit it kind of always creeped me out that.
Best theme song.
Well, we had 2 channels when I was a kid. We also had a satellite dish in like the main living room, but in my room I had 2 channels. I had to get the rabbit ears right.
Yeah.
And they would play promos for the X-Files constantly.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like the Doctor Who theme song to me.
Yeah.
Also really still kind of creeps me out because I remember
pretty trippy.
Being a kid watching Polka Dot Door on TVO, and then right after Polka Dot Door, and then kind of shit.
I still remember that.
Oh yeah, man. So when you're like 5 years old and that shit's coming up, and you
see the stupid freaking robot stuff, like what the fuck,
right? So
that is not Pokeroo.
Pokeroo.
Nice.
That's great.
The cult of Polka Dot Door.
We'll talk about that cult later.
There you go.
So coming up next in 1978 would be the infamous Jonestown Massacre. And that was so a guy named Jim Jones started something called the People's Temple of the Disciples of Christ.
People's Temple of the Disciples of Christ.
Which was usually shortened to the People's Temple.
Something tells me he did not have good editors.
No, probably not. Probably not. The People's Temple spread the message that combined elements of Christianity with communist and socialist ideology.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so he's Canadian.
With an emphasis on racial equality.
Oh, well, yeah. Where was Jonestown again?
That was in Guyana.
Yeah.
Guyana.
That was the big one.
Okay, yeah.
So that was the one where there was about 900 plus people who committed suicide. And I believe it was something that they were aware of as well.
Yeah.
Oh, they knew they were doing it?
And that's where the term, drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid or like you're...
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of a misnomer too, because people usually say, "Oh, you drank the Kool-Aid" in regards to being brainwashed by some form of cult type thing,
believing something. Yeah.
But the true thing is that's where the drugs or the cyanide. Yeah. That's where the poison was.
Right.
Was in the Kool-Aid, and
they just gave him the Kool-Aid so it tasted better.
And he was also a faith healer. One of those faith healer,
right?
Mega church kind of guys, right?
Gotcha. Late night evangelists,
Peter Popoff, kind of dudes.
Can't remember Steve Martin's name in that really awesome movie.
Oh, Keep the Faith.
Keep the Faith.
I can't remember what his character's name was either, but
I
completely forgot about that movie until you said it.
Oh man, love that movie. Love that movie.
Probably should watch it again now that I'm older. I'd probably get more the jokes.
You know what else you should watch? The Jerk, but that's a whole other story.
Jerk has been.
It's classic. Yeah.
That's one of my top.
Keep the Faith. I don't know if I've ever seen that
for
one.
sure.
It's really great. Yeah, it's a wonderful film. It's fantastic. He plays like a sleazy televangelist who
mega church dude
has to go through these he basically has his own crisis of faith, and it's just an awesome film. It's really
nice.
I think it's called
this one though. Going back to
Jonestown,
like I have to admit that was the one where how can that many people, in my understanding again, just do it? Decide to even the why, like that's the other thing I don't know. I don't understand.
It does blow your mind, even especially under this this scenario here, because it was under the guise of following Christ, right. So that's even more like that's not a Christian thing.
No.
Right? Jesus definitely wouldn't be like, here, drink this poison.
No. Christ was not trying to lead people to death. That's for sure.
Right. So where am I? He didn't treat his peoples very well. He didn't treat his minions or whatever you want to call his followers.
And if he's making everybody feel rough when it becomes time to do the good thing, then maybe that
helped.
Yeah. Can't get away from this. Well, here's our only way out. Yeah.
He did shitty things, like he told members of my minority groups, like if there were African American or Latino people involved in his cult there, he would tell them that no, if you go out there, you're gonna get shipped back to
gotcha
wherever you're from kind of attitude, right?
So you think of like 1978 Guyana, I could see how that would be a big motivator, right? It's just
I'm pretty sure he moved people from California.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Because they started trying to the commune thing, like they were trying to build a community where they could be self-supported and stuff.
And I'm sure they were being investigated somehow or something at some point, right? That's probably why they got up and got out of there. Yeah,
probably.
So they some people went to Canada, Barbados, Trinidad. It's pretty messed up. And then he shot himself. And
he wouldn't drink the Kool-Aid himself?
No.
What a guy.
And there were less. Well, that's pretty big coward's way out if you think about it, because drinking cyanide probably isn't the most comfortable way to go.
I truly don't know.
Probably not.
Obviously.
I can't remember last time I tried cyanide.
I would assume it's probably not a quick.
But think of this for a second.
Poisoning,
like if we're analyzing ways to take yourself out for a sec. Okay, so you take cyanide with Kool-Aid, maybe some sort of sedative, so you knock yourself out, and then you die. Versus pointing a gun to yourself and shooting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be a harder thing to do than to just drink a liquid. But I don't know.
Yeah. I guess to a degree, understanding that it might be more instant.
He had a plan all along, though.
But
right?
there had to have been something going on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Oh, there was definitely something, especially for the entire group of people or the majority to go ahead and execute on this. Like, that's, I don't understand that piece.
It's crazy. I think, could you imagine convincing almost 1,000 people to off themselves?
Yeah. The only thing I can think is that he spun it as this is what we need to do. This is what we're being asked to do at this moment. Something along those lines.
Treat it like a mission. Yeah.
They probably said something along the lines of, this is what God's telling me to tell you to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Just trying to find out if there was a reason for it. I'm not.
For me personally, it's one of those things. Even if there is a reason, I would struggle with it. Hugely.
Well, I'm saying a reason like
to them. Yeah,
a reason for him to tell his follower, like, were they being investigated by the FBI or the IRS?
Was there something happening?
The United Nations or something like that? And then he was like, "Okay, we gotta shut this down." And then he
how long was
executed Order 66?
How long was the cult in existence before the killing?
It was.
I'm curious.
So many numbers.
Number.
I believe it happened in 78, and he started the People's Temple in the 50s.
Okay, so we're still talking like another
1950. Yeah, we existed between 1954 and 78.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
That is a long duration.
Now, you got to think that not all these people were probably involved in that for that 24-year period.
No, definitely
right? Like
not.
we were saying with the other, we were thinking like, 23 years, so you're kind of
indoctrinated.
But some of those people must have come in at 10 years or 15 years or even 20 years after.
Yeah.
And still that was I understand that sometimes people have, shitty things going on in their lives and they need to be accepted.
And looking. Yes.
But there's got to be a certain point, even if you're in that position, where you look around you and you're like, this ain't right, man. Like, why am I following this creep guy who's telling me shit that really aliens, man?
I think you can probably equate it to something similar to being like a bad relationship and not knowing it, right? Where when you're in the thick of it, you're just going through the motions, like it is what it is, and then when you're finally out of it, you're like, wow, I can't believe I was a part of that.
That long.
Yeah,
that's a good comparison.
I think that's probably what it's like. And then, like I said, like you're kind of get in, you're vulnerable, and you're like, oh yeah, no, it's not so bad. But by the time you kind of realize, oh, this isn't great, you're in pretty deep where it's hard to break away. That's my thought.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's
I'm not sure how brainwashing works or what
you should be. I do it to you all the time.
Well, he's not aware.
Oh, that's true. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing. So yeah, I'm not really sure how it works or how people who are brainwashed, like you could say, we're brainwashed by our phones or television or media or.
I'd say conditioned,
all
but
that
sure,
kind of
we'll say brainwashed.
Well, yeah, right. Like
more or less.
Is it though?
Yeah, one leads to the other. That's for sure.
So generally, to me, brainwash is that, where somebody has come in and manipulated, usually another person or group has come in and they have actually done something to, make you think differently, to put you on a different track. Now, in some ways, that's a good thing because they're trying to help you or get you out of some sort of funk, get you off drugs, things of this nature, too much alcohol, those things go away. But there's also the negative side to a certain extent.
Well, I was going to say, would we call that brainwashing then?
Which part of it?
If it was a positive?
Yeah.
Because we've had this discussion off
brainwash, because brainwash I think is
usually a negative.
It's like cult, and I was going to try to wait to get past this third cult before we get into what I was attempting to do and failed.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We've also had the discussion off cast where cult isn't necessarily a positive.
Well, that's just
because it's kind of different than the whole nostalgia conversation that we had, right?
Yes.
Where it's my question was is a bad thing considered nostalgia? We kind of agreed that it's still a nostalgic. There's a positive and negative side to that word.
Right? Yeah, well, to nostalgia certainly to a certain extent, but as you were leading to, like, I hunted for a good cult. Because to me, I always thought of a cult as a collection of people coming together and trying to live the way they want to live.
Right.
And yes, there have been bad ones, right? But I thought that there were also good ones. I Googled the F out of this. Could not find any good ones.
Did you ask Jeeves?
I did not ask Jeeves. That's fair. Maybe that was my mistake.
Yeah,
Jeeves
I'd always just thought of a cult as a group of people that come together, and we call them a cult because, they're different, but they do their thing. Okay, all their boats are floating. Everybody's happy in their way.
Kind of like the idea of a cult classic film or album or something like that.
Yeah.
Which usually means something that wasn't popular.
But now is.
But now in certain groups of...
Exactly.
Of
Rocky Horror Picture Show, everybody.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, shout out to that.
The album, the play, everything.
Or even when, like when Tarantino started.
Oh, yeah.
Reservoir Dogs would be considered a cult classic.
Yeah, for sure.
Or Evil Dead or Army of Darkness, right?
Definitely Evil Dead.
Definitely. But they're amazing.
They're cult classics, not occult classics.
Blues Brothers, yeah.
They should just be classics. And Blues Brothers is another one too.
Wonderful film. But
Even 2000,
so
even 2000 was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Anyways, go on.
It was a good attempt.
It was, yeah.
John Goodman was okay.
Yeah.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he did a good job. Yeah. When he's in person, I still, I'll high five him when he comes down to talk about this. John, come on down.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Blues
Whenever
Brothers
you're
2000.
ready, Mr. Goodman. See here for you. We won't even talk to you about the Ranzan stuff. We just want to talk about Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
just Blues Brothers.
So let's talk about something that happened and is still happening. Actually, is still happening. There was something new in the news medias about this. I think yesterday. But this one's called Nexium.
Oh yes, the funny worded Nexium or funny lettered spelled
Nixivum.
It's all Roman numerals. Am I right?
I don't know. Is it N and a Roman numeral?
Yes.
I'm not Roman. I wouldn't know.
There's no E.
Oh,
yeah.
It's
NXIVM.
VM.
Yeah.
Oh, that does sound Roman numeral.
Yeah, I think so.
So why don't you tell us what this is about? Because you know about
I
it.
do know lots about
You know
this.
lots about this.
I do,
one.
actually. I've been following it along even before charges
So
were
you
laid.
explained this, and then we're going to come back to this. Is following a cult through
Oh,
the
that's a
news media
good-
being a cult member? The movie, start ahead.
There's a new cult where we pay attention to cults. So that's what our cult is made up
It's
of.
a cult.
It's a cult. Yeah. What's your cult called? Cult. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
So is the band the cult a cult?
Oh.
No, they're just the cult.
Yeah.
They're just the cult.
And they're a good band.
They're a great band.
But they're a collection of people getting together to do the same thing.
Maybe they should change their name to the Collective. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. The communism. Anyway,
Okay.
go on.
So
sir.
Nexium. All right. So
C words.
please pick up whatever I miss and what I'm describing. So a guy by the name of Keith Raniere had this idea of creating like a multi-level pyramid scheme, if you will.
It was multi-level marketing.
And the idea was when you join it, it's supposed to improve your life. And the big target that he had when he was putting this together was for celebrities, to try to get celebrities involved, because he knew that's where the money's at, and that's where you get all that
If
sort
they
of
say
stuff.
good things, then people,
Exactly.
He took a page from the Book of Scientology.
He very much did. Yes, very very smart on that front. And he'd been building it for a while, like 15 years, 18 years. It's been going on for a long time. To the point where there's three major celebrities that I am like I pull off the top of my head right now, and I'm sure there's other ones as well. But Kristen Krauk, who played Lana Lang on Smallville, India Oxenberg, who is the Seagram heiress. So Seagram, the
Jin.
Yeah. She's making all that money, and his eventual right hand man, Chloe. What's her name?
Allison Mack.
Alice Mack, who played Chloe in Smallville. Thank you, Allison Mack. And yeah, so I guess Kristen Krauk got out relatively early, and she's free and clear. But these others stayed for a very long time, and Alice Mack she's going up for sentencing because
She has been sentenced. Actually, she's been sentenced to. That's what it was like yesterday.
Okay,
or something.
well, we'll talk about
Yeah.
that in a second. Yeah. So, so the whole point of the cult is you have this organization, people are joining it, and the one thing that he did differently than what we're hearing about these other ones is he didn't do it from a place of lowliness. Like he didn't do it as like, oh, see, you're not, let me take you in. It wasn't like that. Like whenever you watch The Vow, or there's another one on Stars, I can't remember the name of their cult a movie about Nexium. But like India Oxenberg is talking about the fact that like I didn't have anything bad in my life. Like life was great.
Mm-hmm.
But what he was saying was, well, here's a way you can shift your knowledge of your life and make it better. And so like, what do you mean make it better? And then that's how they kind of get you going. And when you get there, it seems kind of silly. Everyone's wearing these silly sashes, and they're doing these kind of like the only thing I can equate to it, unless you worked for like a door-to-door sales where they're trying to get you all hyped up. Mm-hmm. I think of like the movie you're only supposed to ever watch once, Requiem for a Dream. Mm-hmm. Where they're like, juice by Mary, juice by Mary, juice, okay, juice. Yeah, that sort of thing, right?
And you only watch it once.
You only watch it once, yeah. Do not. Okay.
I don't even know if I could watch it once.
God.
It bummed me out a little too bad.
It's a pretty depressing movie.
It's fucking heavy.
It really is. Anyways, rightfully so. That's kind of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that's what these meetings were. And like everyone that was a part of it kind of says, yeah, it seemed hokey to start, but then you start to see improvements in certain areas and life's all great.
You start to feel better. You're part of something.
Exactly.
You're excited. You're getting together.
Yeah, and you're moving up the ranks of whatever this is.
You're
and
chatting with people.
Yes. And then eventually the women of the cult, if they stayed in long enough, would be Alison Mack was, from what I understand, the front runner of this, but I'm sure other women that were deeply involved had done this too, where they would invite them into this inner cult called
DOS.
DOS, thank you, DOS. And the idea was, before you even get to be a part of this, you have to give up something that could be used against you for blackmail. Like that was right off the hop. Whatever it is.
That was like the deal.
Yeah. It's like it didn't matter what it was, but you had to give it up. And as you get more and more involved, it would be expected that you'd have to lose weight, no matter what weight you were, but whatever. And they had them on these like extreme diets where girls were like really underweight, like horribly, grossly underweight. And they were doing it because they wanted to feel accepted in this inner cult. Eventually, it led to.
I don't think the disc operating system would care.
I don't think it would matter. This is like, I don't care.
Yeah.
00111 and then eventually, if you proved worthy in this inner cult, you would then have to have sex or please Mr. Rainier with sexual conquests. And then, as like a way of showing, they described it differently, but as a way of showing your allegiance to this, you would get like a branding on your pubic area.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, not a tattoo, dude. Like a legit branding, like
like they do it with like a fucking soldering iron,
right?
Kind of thing.
And the thing is, the symbol, it's crazy. The symbol itself looks like this weird kind of esoteric thing, but if you turn it to its side, it's KR and AM, Keith Rainier and Alison Mack. Right?
I think it depended on who you belonged to.
I think so. Yeah.
Scenario.
So it really did become this weird like slave or slaver
right
relationship.
You are part of your mind, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's where this kind of all ended up, and Indy Oxenberg got out with the help of her mom and a bunch of other people, and she's now telling the story. Kristen Krauk has basically wants nothing to do with it, and everybody's kind of vouched for her to say, listen, she got out when she got out because she knew things were wrong, and she never had anything to do with DOS. Who knows whether she did or not, but whatever.
The name you're thinking of is Claire and Sarah Bronfman. They're the Seagrams.
Thank you. Yes, the Bronfmans.
I'm not sure who. I don't know if this India Oxenberg person was involved.
Still, though, like it's one of those things, though, as they're getting out and doing the explanation.
Possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, I know the name. Part of it.
Sorry, you're right. She was an actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think she still is, but or trying to be. Whatever. Who knows? Aren't we all?
Yeah.
So now things are coming out, and Keith Rainier has been sentenced to 3 life terms. 3 life terms.
He has, yeah.
And I don't know Alice Max. I want to know her sentencing. But what I thought was funny was leading up to her sentencing. I shouldn't say funny. It's not funny. But leading up to her sentencing, I was reading about what her lawyer was saying and the apologies that she was putting through, which, is nice. It's great that you're putting apologies out there, but then you're asking for, like, no jail time. It's like, and I'm no judge, jury, or executioner. It's none of my business. But when I think...
What was she actually charged with?
I can look this up.
There you go.
Yeah, like
but good point.
There are different levels. Yeah. Like running a cult.
Racketeering's one of them. I know that.
Racketeering is a rough one. Don't get me wrong, but racketeering is okay. You racketeered. You shouldn't. That is improper to do to other people's. But that's what I mean. Like, did they kill people? Did they tie people down?
They were considering it sexual slavery.
Yeah.
Or
interesting.
Sexual.
Well, and that's a fair thing because they were able to take over and
sex trafficking,
force people to operate in a certain way. So that's fair. Okay. And that one deserves, a bit of a slap.
I would say, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate why she would want to try to obviously not get jail time.
Well,
I think from the other perspective, it's like, well, how many lives did you affect? And there has to be something on that. And it can't just be a home arrest.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's one of those things. And again, it doesn't absolve, and isn't going to make the people where, for whatever reason, they came into that sort of role of being the one taken advantage of. But again, and this is easy for me to say because it's something I couldn't do, I must admit, which is having that ability to sit with them, come to learn about them, understand them, and then really just get to that point of what was it that made you come along in that group? And again, because that way it's one of the things we can slowly start to hopefully, when we see people starting to fall down that path of, you shouldn't be doing that. That's not a good club to be part of.
Right.
Like there's the simple ones from the teen years or when you're a kid, you're hanging out with those kids who, pick on somebody and, well, you'll pick on them too because, you want to be part of the cool kids club. Less of a thing nowadays, I think. But again, I also know that now it's on the chat stuff. So, no, we're not going to talk to you in the chat program anymore, which,
that's true.
From my perspective, is one of those simple things. But when you're a younger child,
it's different.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things like, in some ways, I sometimes wonder, like, were these people somehow caught up in that same sort of thinking as children, teenagers, where they want to be loved? Or do they feel really hooked? Well, they probably do, and especially in this example. Because, that's the thing I was just,
that's a good point.
I hope, and not of me, because I would not be able to do this, really start to try to talk to people that, and again, easy to say, both sides of the coin, people taken advantage of and hurt, but also the jerks that ran this thing, so why?
Yeah, let's get to the bottom
money,
as to what made you.
Again, there's the easy things, which maybe is as simple as it gets, money, power, the ability to have what you want when you want, but.
So she got 3 years for manipulating women into becoming sex slaves.
All she got was 3 years? I feel like that's light. I really do.
There's more in the article here.
Yeah. I'm not like here
I
to
guess
tell her.
At one point she was facing like 14 to 17 and a half years or something.
And like, don't get me wrong, like she'll never have a career again, obviously.
Oh God, no.
And her life is pretty much in shambles because of this. But I don't know. There's something about like I feel like the punishment does not necessarily fit the crime, personally.
No, it should have been a harsher punishment.
Yeah, I'm not saying she should have went for life. That's ridiculous. But I mean, these girls' lives are fucked now because of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they got to go through whatever trauma stuff.
I'm sure there's a lot of PTSD. I'm sure
tons of it. Right?
Hard to trust anybody.
And I mean, I guess she has to live with that. But my biggest thing, and I only because I've been following it for as long as I have, I feel like Allison Mack really hasn't shown any signs of remorse until now.
I was going to say
she was arrested.
She has offered up apologies that were not greeted with any sort of niceties.
Right. So that's
understandably.
Yeah. Anyways, whatever. I wish the best for Allison Mack and all the other people involved. I don't want to see anybody suffer, but I also feel like that's a really sad situation, and a lot of people's lives were.
Well, and it's
tortured.
easy for us to say, but you go and you join this organization thinking it's one thing, then you realize it's another thing.
That's
so
true,
you leave, which is good, but it's also one of those. Even when you leave, you try to tell the people what's happening, but of course, I chalked these 20 other people. They say nothing's going on. Just you say that, and you're the one that left. So I think you're just pissed off.
It definitely sounds like another famous organization.
Well, and again, very simple. If nobody's getting truly hurt, and again, this is an example where they're getting truly hurt. If somebody, and again, this can happen in pockets of any organization.
That's true too.
Yeah,
that's true.
Religion, group, anything. Sometimes you can have this thing where 99% everybody's kicking ass, chewing bubble in all the right ways, and then there's that 1% where somebody went and you need an organization sometimes. Sometimes it's just people being unfortunate.
Those people are called Karens.
And Terry's.
I know a Karen, so I can't use that.
I know.
I know a Terry too.
Oh wow, my mom-in-law. Yeah,
but anyway, it's
all right,
like,
Sandy.
Yeah, because again, as we chatted about, it's like I really thought a cult could just be like a group of kids coming together to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Right?
I felt the same way, dude. I always felt like if you're a group of people and you're all doing the same thing, all right,
you're a little cult,
whatever. Who
but
cares?
of course, that's actually a negative term,
really
and that's the thing that I've now learned in my older age. I shouldn't say that to somebody. Oh, you're part of this cute little cult. No, because that's immediately kind of putting them in that darky spot.
It's the stigma.
Yeah.
It's the stigma associated with it.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
but I Alice and Mac being charged, I'm sure there's a lot more people that are going to have to go through whatever next. It's crazy to think that this cult happened in our time, like now.
Yeah, it started in 98.
Yeah, so
ended now.
Oh, again, another 20-year thing. Holy shit! What the hell, man?
Because it takes time to build.
Yes.
Because you know what, I am
that.
by no means an expert, but it's one of those things I suspect where it starts out one way, and then slowly, and again. Yeah,
it makes me wonder. Did he know that from the start? Did he know that was going to go?
Oh, probably not. It's he learned that he could push this person a little bit. Oh shit, I'm getting what I want. Oh,
yeah. Well, what he did is he ended up. So I guess his pyramid scheme was a pyramid scheme, if you think about it, because he had Nexium, which was your corporation. It's an actual corporation, right? And then it split off into two different factions that were men and women. The men were the protectors, and the women were the opposite, I guess, the housewifey.
Oh, wow.
Right? And then it funneled down from the women to this DOS thing.
Right.
So, it was almost like its own pyramid scheme within a pyramid scheme.
Clever guy. That guy, you got to give him props to the fact that he was extremely intelligent in how he ran his operation.
It's stated that he took pages from L. Ron Hubbard and Ayn Rand. And,
what did he borrow from Ayn Rand?
Her novels do have a certain style to them.
Yeah,
there is a style to them where she has a perspective on things and how they should be run.
And is she not? I was going to say, is it not like a pushy sort of kind of point of view?
There's the one book where it really jumps out, and of course the name is popped out of the brain.
Not Atlas Shrugged.
Atlas Shrugged.
It is Atlas Shrugged?
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
They made a movie out of that.
Yeah.
I've
never seen it.
I think they only made one part out of two. It was supposed to be two parts, but it was one of the most boring movies on the face of Earth.
She's just an unbelievable writer, but very.
Her perspective was definitely, for me anyway, a unique one. But the reason I always liked the book was, to me it just struck me as kind of, and I don't think she meant it this way, but in some ways I read it as, well, this is why you don't do that. Because she did actually have some good explanations, the railway stuff, the materials made, all those things where there are people that will game any system.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed. Yeah.
And again, some people frown upon that, but if you really think about it, you do it yourself sometimes.
True.
Hopefully not in a way that actually harms a human, another person.
Oh, yeah. He did weird shit, like some of his inner circles were repeatedly reportedly taught that in past lives they were high-ranking Nazi officers.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Like, just weird shit like that. Again, that seems like another popular organization that people poke fun at.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
No, it's everybody, float your boat. Help others float theirs. Don't sink anything. Do your best.
Good analogy.
So I guess, what would you call a positive cult? Is that a club?
To me, in my mind, and again, is a cult to me was always just that group of people coming together in a strange, funny way. Yeah. I am wrong, based on things that we are experiencing.
Clearly, we know better. Yeah.
But again, any group of people that come together that want to be there, are happy, not being hurt, not hurting others. Yeah, man, you do your thing. Have fun. Come together in a podcast.
But what's it called?
Well, let me ask you this:
is the opposite of a club?
Oh, I don't know if there's
right. Like, would that be the positive spin?
It would be.
On that
it would be
stigma?
called a collective, a club, a community, whatever it might be. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
And it could be whatever whatever you want it to be about it. Right?
Yeah. Sorry to cut. It's one of those things where like. Cult is negative, but you just round off a whole bunch of nice ways of describing a group of people coming together to kick some ass in the good way.
And if I was trying to get you to come into my cult, I wouldn't call it a cult. I would call it a club or a community
or a multi-level marketing.
And then when we catch you, that's where it becomes...
Well,
let's talk about
Amway. If there was a Sarcastic Distractions cult, what would be the requirements? What would you need to do to join this club cult thing?
Talk a lot of bullshit.
A lot of bullshit. Yeah. You probably got to know how to smoke weed.
Act stupid.
Yeah, act stupid. Yeah. You got to, I mean, if you don't know sarcasm, you're not a part of it. So.
I was going to say make bad jokes.
Yeah, definitely bad jokes. Yeah.
Bad jokes where you laugh and nobody else.
And you can't like bring bad Kool-Aid, but if you do bring good Kool-Aid, you got to share it. Like
they don't make good Kool-Aid anymore.
I don't even know. I haven't had Kool-Aid in ages.
They do the droppies, but you can't get the classic. You know, you put the powder in with the sugar.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard they took that off the shelves.
Yeah,
we have a package in our.
They took the powder. What?
I'm pretty sure they took the packaged powders of Kool-Aids, and they've discontinued them in Canada.
Yeah, I believe so.
I believe you can still get it in the States.
Yeah,
that's some bullshit. What's the reason?
Because I'm pretty sure the packet we got was from like one of those shops that exclusively sells the candies.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. But why?
Read the instructions. Because this is one of the things I have to admit, as an adult with children, I now understand. And again, this kind of makes me look evil after our entire conversation. You go and you take that water, you put in that stir, and then you take 2 cups of sugar or something like that.
Yeah.
That's true. Really, it's flavored food coloring is Kool-Aid.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's really all it is, right?
Don't get me wrong. I loved it as a kid.
Sure,
I did.
Yeah.
We used to just get the packets and just because it was sour without that, right?
Yeah.
So you just kind of munch it or whatever.
Yeah,
Chicks would be dyeing their hair with
I remember that.
And shit.
I would do that too, but I would never, ever drink it without sugar. Like I would never do that.
As soon as you put water in it,
you have to put sugar in it.
It was too bitter.
Oh, it was
right?
way too bitter. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah.
The cult of Kool-Aid.
The cult of Kool-Aid. Led by Kool-Aid man. You're a cult leader.
See, and what they do is they break through walls.
Ah!
That's why they're a cult.
Nice.
Well done. Well
Very
done.
good.
Yeah. I think, just the idea that any one person or group of people can convince that many people to follow them to these nth degrees. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty shocking. We've only touched upon 3 cults today.
Mm-hmm.
How many more are out there? And then, one question before, because I'm sure we're going to probably wrap up relatively soon here, but one question I'm really trying to understand, and maybe we could define it here. What's the difference between a Christian cult and like church? Like, what would be the ultimate difference? Right? I'm not saying I'm not saying that to be controversial or anything like that. I'm honestly asking, like, is a Christian cult, would it be a cult using Christ as a way to, further sinister
I would
behavior?
say Jonestown.
Right. Or because I mean it could be a slippery slope.
Do you want the real answer or the funny answer?
Both.
The funny answer would be tax exemption.
Ew. Yes, tax exemption. Yeah. Like,
no, I think it would just like what Dave was saying earlier. It would be doing something negative.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You could probably, I guess, in this day and age, if you're thinking about what's right and what's wrong and whatnot, the fact that the Crusades happened, would that not have, with the definition we have, that would have made the church at that time
a cultish
kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. They were moving the world in a specific direction and causing. Yeah,
it's always about perspective.
It is all about perspective.
Like, don't get me wrong. It's one of those. Yeah, if people are come together and take advantage of, but again, you can have people, living in that house in that strange, awkward way where there's 5 wives and they're all happy being there. They all want to be there. They're treated well in the sense they're not beaten or taken advantage of.
Yeah. I was reading a few months back.
The whole like Mormon sister wives kind of idea,
or just polygamy in general.
Yeah. Because that's another thing where
I don't know if polygamy is a thing outside of that anymore, though.
Oh, it is.
Oh, I don't know either.
It sure is. I was maybe 6 months ago. I was listening to an article or some sort of news report or whatever you want to call it on talk radio, and that was what they were doing. They were examining people that had polygamous lifestyles where they have it's not like one with multiple wives.
Where is it even legal anymore?
I'm
pretty sure in Canada polygamy is illegal.
If you legally get married, yeah, but I don't think there's anything stopping a group of people living together. And
I think that's different. I don't think
it is
the term for polygamy, because that's like polyamory.
Okay.
Whereas polygamy would be legitimately getting married to each other.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. But again, that's one of those funny society things. So you can go and live together, and again, all happily, right? That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't commit to everybody.
Right.
It's one of those just things.
It's a very peculiar thing, isn't it?
That should be its own podcast.
I agree.
But it's one of those things of why?
Why? Like, what does it
matter?
Well,
that's a good point. That's just like gay marriage should not have been illegal.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, why was it ever illegal?
Yeah. And I guess if you have a group of people who agree,
and that's just it.
I think the problem is one man almost. If you look at it from a different way, I'm pretty sure in a situation like that, because usually it's one man, multiple women.
Usually,
where I'm sure a lot of people would see that as
people being
almost
taken advantage of.
Yeah, almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Anti-feminism kind of.
Oh yeah,
what's the word I'm fucking looking for? Anyway,
no.
it would be to the man's advantage,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Whereas I don't know. You got 6 women in a house and they all get along and they're I think they would be the ones wearing the proverbial pants, if you will.
Yeah.
Eventually,
right?
they'd all gang up on you, right?
It's like 6 against 1.
I don't know about you guys. Like, I have a hard enough time with just my wife. I couldn't imagine.
I don't have a hard time with my wife at all. It's amazing. I'm so very, very.
Yes,
we'll get you something for that. Dude. We'll get you something. We'll get you a hard time again.
Sure.
Oh, you mean like speaking to and communicating and
I didn't mean like that.
I guess I don't.
It's just
if it's coming from a place of enjoyment and love and acceptance and all that kind of jazz, I guess I don't really see anything wrong.
I do
with
follow the general
polygamy or polyamory. Or
it's a simple thing for me to say. It's just like you said, if people have consciously made the decision, they're comfortable, happy, and again, and it's a silly thing to say, but can leave when they want. Then
like if you're able to say like, I'm not happy in this marriage, I would like to leave this marriage. And now you have 5 wives instead of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think that's.
I don't see anything. Again, as long as it's not a negative.
As long as it's not people being hurt, taken advantage of. Like that's again. Yeah.
Unfortunately, society would see it in a different way.
They would,
of course.
Like that's
correct.
Well,
that's weird. That's gross. That's
maybe not now, or maybe not in the short future. But
we're getting close.
Yeah.
To it. Again, it's one of those things for us. It's still very weird. 100 years from now. Could be just one of those things.
Yeah,
for
good
sure.
Point.
I remember when I was, it's kind of a slight side topic, but when we were in BC, as everyone knows, we're all in a housing explosion all over the world, apparently, where houses just cost bazillions of dollars now. And when we're in in BC, where we were, there were these unbelievable houses, like just stuff you're like, there's like, who owns these houses, right? And then we found out that there were families from different ethnicities coming over from whatever, and what they're doing is they're pulling their money, they're all living in this house, getting it built, and then when everything's all said and done and it's time for the next, they then kind of go to the next house and then they do that there, and then how they build equity. And I'm like, that's really, really, really clever.
Well, they do that in India.
Yeah,
that's the thing they do in India, where the whole grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, brothers, sisters, mom and dad, they all live in the same house, but it's not like a house like we know in our society. It's more like a bunch of apartments with a courtyard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Right? Like I used to work with a fella from India, and I would always ask him cultural questions.
Sure.
Not being insensitive or anything like that. I was just genuinely
curious.
interested.
You've never been there? How you want to know?
Right, exactly. I was interested in learning about this culture, and that's
sure.
what he said. Yeah, his auntie, grandma, grandpa, all them, and it's like you start off with this, and you kind of
branch out.
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah.
If
so
you have
in some ways, it's a larger version of what we do here. Like for here, it's father, mother, brother, sisters, and there they have that extended concept.
And my whole point of bringing that up was that's not far removed from, say, like a commune or some sort of area where a group of people get together and say,
well, there's lots of communes even today.
Yes,
and
lots of them.
Yeah, and that to me, again, I originally kind of thought as a cult, but if you say that, they'd be offended because a cult is a bad word.
Right.
They're a commune. They're a group of people that come together to work equally, spread equally, all those good things.
That's what this one here is.
Yeah. So to me, that's almost the good version of a cult, but they would be angry, rightfully so, because
of course, because they're not trying to kill people.
No, well, they're not trying to take advantage. They're simply trying to live together in a certain way or style. Often, it's a low impact, self-sustaining style.
Right.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm going to start a commune where we all just spend lots of money and drink lots of alcohol.
Oh, I like that. I want to start a commune where we're all tech based and everybody focuses their efforts on technology.
Well, I always got confused by communism and then the idea of a commune, right? Like, are they the same thing? Like did communism not really work because it's on such a large scale? Like, they're trying to do it in a country, but if you do it in a community, like a small, 50 people kind of thing.
I know Dave's chomping at the bit, so I'm gonna let him fill in. But
I'm not a political dude, but I know what a fucking commune is.
How many fucking times have we had this conversation? Well, not the commune versus communism, but
I know what a commune is, and it's everybody pitches in for one greater good kind of thing, right? And I always thought that that's what communism or
that's what communism should be. Yes,
is that
to a certain extent, as Chris is alluding to, like communism, the concept behind it is much that we're all equal. We all do whatever we're good at, but we share everything, et cetera, so on. In a commune, to a certain extent, and I do say certain extent because even in a commune, and at least most of the ones I'm aware of, you have your own place, house. You all work together as a community to get things completed.
Maybe a garden, maybe entertainment.
Yeah.
Everybody's still working, chipping. So there are essences that are communism. The big thing, the difference, of course, again, is that communism is that governmental style where, it is declared you can only do those certain things.
Right.
And often the people that are in control, of course, are in control.
And that's the issue of communism in general. Like, the concept is sound. It works.
Is okay.
However, there's always one person or group at top running the show, which negates communism altogether. Right? So, that's fine.
And there's no easy
communism
way to
is kind of supposed to be more like a democracy. Well, because I'm thinking of the way you vote on something.
Sort of.
Right? Like in our band, we have 5 people in our band, and if 4 people agree or disagree, then that one person's kind of like has to.
No, if your band was a communistic band, there wouldn't, and like truly communistic, there wouldn't be no deciding. You would all just move together at the same.
Well, that is the decision point, though. He is right to a certain extent.
Yeah. Right, because I'm picturing 20 hippies living together and 19 hippies want to do one thing and the one hippie doesn't want to do it. So it's like either you have to suck it up or fuck off.
Yes.
But apparently there's no fucking off.
In any of the actual, again, like anything in our lovely world, it starts off in this concept. And then unfortunately people come into power. And once you have power, you want more power, more. Power is like money. You want more and more and more.
And that's probably the same.
We're all
true
humans.
with the cults, right?
It's true.
Some of them probably.
It's true with democracies. It's true with business. It's true.
Everything.
Again.
It's all great until humans fuck it up. Go on.
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah. You do the best you can. You try. Even you
so that
will do things.
That gave me an idea for a new Air Bud movie.
Okay.
Presidential pup.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So as soon as humans get into it, it's fucked up.
Yes.
But as soon as a dog gets into it, everything goes smoothly.
That's you need a cute puppy and an older dog.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we're saying anything that's not true if we all believe that dogs would make office better, right? Like if we
Beethoven
politics,
DC, man. Beethoven
DC.
that'd
be we'd all be in a better spot, right?
Beethoven, oh my god.
But then what happens when the cats?
Well, right? I mean, that's a whole other war.
You start having wars between cats and dogs.
Yeah, it's just not.
See?
Strictly, yeah. And then you have that Romeo and Juliet relationship with that one cat and dog get together.
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
Well, now that reminds me of one of the latest episodes of Rick and Morty.
That's a whole other
that's a whole other discussion.
Well, since we are distracting ourselves well away from cults, I think it's time we probably should be done now. Unless you guys have anything else you want to add to our cult-like conversation.
No, I think we had that good. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel healthy about this. I feel like we actually covered a lot.
Cults are crappy.
They are crappy.
That's what I have to say about it.
Cults as the groups are, but the culty movies, music.
Yes.
Again,
Yeah.
it's us
See? There you
English
go.
people changing.
Good
Again,
times.
you do your best. Don't hurt anybody.
Please, before I do our final sign off, what's that one analogy you said about the boats? Can you just state that simplistic?
Oh, my sort of
Yeah.
way of going about it. You keep your boat floating. Don't sink other ones, and help out when you can.
Go,
So don't play Battleship.
Don't play Battleship. Isn't that a great way to live, everybody? Isn't that a great understanding? That's something you can take into your day.
Yeah.
Don't say Sarcastic Distractions didn't teach you something. Probably didn't teach you anything. Nothing the internet can teach you. Yes. And on that note, I just want to say thanks so much for watching our fun show here and being a part of what we're doing. If you have topics of understanding when it comes to cults, or you want to join in, or if you know things that we don't know, if we've glossed over this, or you want to inform us better, let us know. Let us know what we should know about cults that we don't already know.
Learn me something, boy.
Yeah. Teach us. We are your peoples.
Okay.
We're students of the world, or whatever. And just let us know. And kind of allude to what Dave was saying earlier. If you yourself are out there and you're not mentally feeling great, we just want to let you know that you matter. Not matters just to us, but to those that are in your life. And if you're not feeling so great upstairs, talk to someone.
Not only do you matter, you are matter.
You are matter.
So
Exactly.
I mean, it's like you want to kind of
like a
wonderful, symbiotic kind of thing, right?
It's beautiful, really.
Yeah.
So take that time to talk to somebody and seek the advice and help that can maybe help you get out of that negative headspace.
Mm-hmm.
But until next time, this has been the Gentleman Society of Podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Harvey.
Dave Shergold.
Mecca hi, Mecca hiney ho.
Oh,
I'm AJ, and we got to go.
That was good.
That is like the oldest callback. I haven't heard that in ages. And if that's not a sarcastic distraction, I don't know what is. Thanks, everybody. Have yourselves an awesome day.
Take care, all.
Cheers. Do you think in Asia, instead of saying bingo, they say pachinko? I'm just curious.
I think the machines say it. I don't think they say
okay.
it.